Hey, you guys, welcome back to Therapy Unzipped. I have a great show. It's actually some stuff that I've been writing with regards to the topic today. And usually I have my co-host, Brett, an amazing therapist, and to bounce ideas off and have a commentary about it. But today, he's actually on his way to Louisville to help with the employees and families who were affected by the plane crash. And so, an amazing man. Big shout out to him for going up there to be of service to do some crisis intervention. So, you just have me today, and I was going to just record this as an audio track and then post it everywhere. But we've been posting our video podcast to YouTube, and so I didn't want to just do that. I thought about doing it where, I just have a logo or a picture or something, and then the audio in the in the back. But today's topic is about the masks that we wear, so I thought that would be kind of shitty to hide behind a picture or a logo, and so it's just gonna be me, raw and unfiltered. Not really, but anyway. I'm going to just kind of read, and I hate just reading. I love talking about stuff, but I don't like talking myself. I like having a conversation, and I love listening to people. I mean, that's what I do the best, and then educating through that. But me just like in front of a camera talking, unless it's a quick TikTok, it's just yeah, it's just weird for me. But I'm unmasking myself and being authentic and being true. So it's gonna be me reading stuff that I've written, that I've worked out, that I wanted to share and bounce back and forth between Brett and I. But I'm just gonna give you the raw, unfiltered, unedited version of it. So I hope that you don't mind. Like I said, I'd rather just have a nice conversation, but I want you to be able to get some benefit from these strategies, these topics, these discussion points about wearing masks because we all wear masks. I mean, they used to call it hats, or this is maybe different parts of our ego, different parts of ourselves that we display out in the world for a whole host of different reasons, and some of those I'm gonna talk about. So anyway, you wear a mask. You wear several different masks or hats if you prefer, but it's when we are in certain circumstances or situations around certain people at work, at school, at home, on vacation, we have different versions of ourselves that come out and they serve a purpose. However, by doing that, we eliminate some of our truth and some of our genuineness, some of our authenticity. So I want to talk about maybe some of the pros and cons of that. So without further ado, let me switch over to my Word document and then go to it. But I hope you guys have been having a great time as we approach the end of the year. This is being recorded November, I don't know, whatever it is, right before Veterans Day. So shout out to all you veterans out there. Thank you for your service and Marine Corps birthday the day before. So 250 years. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. And let's get into this. The wearing of masks. We all wear masks. Not the spooky kind from Halloween or not the pandemic kind, emotional ones. The I'm fine, I'm in control, I'm unbothered type of masks. The ones we slip on every morning without even noticing. And here's the truth. Those masks don't appear out of nowhere. They're learned behaviors, protective adaptations. They're part psychology, part survival. And every mask tells a story about what once hurt us, what we feared, and how we learned to stay safe. So here's the psychology of the mask. In psychology, we might call a mask a defense mechanism. Freud talked about things like repression, denial, projection, ways our ego protects itself from pain. But modern psychology has added nuance. Now we recognize masks as adaptive strategies. part of the self that helps us regulate emotions and maintain connection, even in unsafe environments. So maybe your mask is the caretaker, always putting others first, keeping the peace. Or maybe it's the performer, charismatic, funny, distracting from deeper feelings. Or maybe it's the stoic one, my personal favorite, strong, silent, but untouchable. Whatever form it takes, the mask isn't the enemy. It's a messenger, telling you where your pain lives and how you've learned to cope. Most of our masks are born in childhood. If we grew up in homes where emotions weren't welcome, we learned to hide them. If vulnerability led to rejection, we learned to armor up. If love felt conditional, we learned to perform for approval. Attachment theory explains a lot here. A secure attachment teaches a child that they can be seen and safe. But anxious or avoidant attachment teaches that authenticity can be risky. So we learn to curate ourselves, to show only what's rewarded, to hide what's punished. That's how the mask becomes part of our personality. So let's be fair, masks have their benefits. They keep us functioning when emotions threaten to derail us. They allow professionalism in chaotic workplaces. They help therapists, parents, and leaders hold space for others even when they're hurting inside. In psychological terms, masks help us self regulate. They prevent emotional flooding and keep us inside our window of tolerance, that sweet spot where we can think clearly and stay connected. For some, the mask is the difference between surviving and breaking down. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes the mask is the therapy until we're ready for something deeper. But there is a trade off. The longer you wear the mask, the more it fuses to your skin. We start confusing the mask with who we are. Relationships become transactional, authenticity feels unsafe, and we lose touch with our emotional core. Psychologists call this incongruence, when our outward persona doesn't match our inner truth. One of my big favorites, Carl Rogers, said, "This gap is the root of anxiety and depression, the dissonance between who I think I should be and who I actually am." That inner tension is, well, exhausting. You could hold it back for years, decades even, but eventually the body starts to revolt. Through insomnia, irritability, burnout, or that quiet whisper that says, I don't even know who I am anymore. This, this is our mask. It becomes part of us, and we have trouble delineating between it and our true selves. So it's time to unmask at times. And unmasking isn't just emotional, it's psychological too. When we drop the mask, we activate co regulation through connection. Our nervous system relaxes when we feel seen and when we feel accepted, when we feel validated. The body moves out of fight or flight and into safety. And that's where the healing begins. This is why therapy, yoga, breath work, even honest friendships can feel like oxygen. They give our nervous system permission to exhale. It's not about dismantling every mask overnight. It's about learning when the armor still serves you and when it's suffocating you. There's a gradual process to being more authentic. It doesn't just happen overnight, and we can't just peel the mask off and be ourselves. It's a process. So, how do we start unmasking? Well, step one, awareness. Notice when you're performing and ask yourself, what am I protecting right now? Step two, compassion. Instead of shaming the mask, thank it. It was there and it helped you survive. Maybe it's still needed from time to time. Step three, experimentation. Try letting a little more of your real self show in the safe places with trusted people in therapy or even just privately in your own journal. Authenticity isn't about exposure, it's about alignment. It's about letting your outer life reflect your inner truth. And that takes practice. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But privilege doesn't mean ease, it means choice. We can choose the courage of authenticity over the comfort of disguise. Sometimes those masks are still needed. So let me be real. There are some environments that still require masks. If you're dealing with toxic family systems, unsafe workplaces, or emotionally unavailable people, authenticity might not be safe yet. And that's not cowardice, that's discernment. Boundaries and masks are cousins. Sometimes you keep the mask on because you value your peace more than their approval. And that's healthy. That's self protection. The goal isn't to never wear masks, it's to choose when and why you wear them instead of living behind them by default. So let's integrate the mask and the self. In therapy, we often talk about integration, not elimination. We don't have to kill off your masked self. You just need to introduce it to the rest of you. The strong self can coexist with the vulnerable one. The funny one can sit beside the sad one. And that's wholeness, but not purity. Unmasking isn't about unveiling a brand new person. It's the gentle return to the person you were before the world told you who you need to be. And once you begin to live that way, people will feel it. They'll sense your congruence, and it gives them permission to unmask as well. So maybe let's take a moment and ask yourself, what mask do I wear most often? When did I first learn it was safer to hide? What would it feel like to drop it, even just briefly? Who in my life has truly seen me and stayed? Think about that, write it down a little bit, and just sit with it. Because self awareness is the beginning of freedom. So we all wear masks, and for good reason. But healing is learning that we no longer need to hide to be loved. The work of growth is the work of gentle unmasking, one layer, one truth, one breath at a time. So here's to everyone brave enough to take theirs off, even for a moment. Here's to authenticity, sometimes messy and imperfect, but beautifully human and beautifully you. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Tom, and this has been another episode of Therapy Unzipped. Please, if you have any comments on this, any questions, you want to reach out to us, if you need any help, please send them in to questions@therapyunzipped.com. I hope you guys had a great Halloween and are looking forward to Thanksgiving, Christmas, the end of the year, and all the things that you celebrate. I love this time of year, and I hope that you come back next week where Brett and I will be discussing another interesting, wild, wacky, zany topic. And I hope you've been enjoying this. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.